how do you not feel overwhelmed in the modern environment? As somebody who prides myself in being able to do a lot of things and feeling like I have a pretty stable mental state, I feel like it's creeping up. And with it goes my motivation. And I think there's correlation there. It seems like the more things there are to do, and not necessarily are to do, because most of the stuff that I have to do right now is kind of gross stuff. So feedback loops might be in the future. And when that's the case, you have to muster your own motivation to do those things. Like if I do something that I have to do because it's time sensitive or somebody sent it to me or there's a deadline, it's very easy to do it. You just do it, right? But what about like starting a new project or, writing that article for SEO, or just like building that thing that will bring you results, hopefully a little bit every day for the next 2, 5, 10 years. It's like, I could just not do that. I could just not work today. Should I do that? Like, man, it is a battle. And it's one that, pretty much my entire life, I've been pretty good at doing and being intrinsically motivated. But I find myself battling with other things. Like you have kids and life is short and I don't have motivation to do it. So you know what? What do you do? Part of me understands all the philosophy, the Stoics, Taoism, Nietzsche. I've studied a lot of these things. And so I have kind of two perspectives in my mind where happiness is a choice, contentment is a choice, fulfillment is a choice. So I could have nothing or be middle class or be whatever it is and be fine with it. But then the other part of me is just like, hell no, that ain't okay. You need to do it. You need to create. You need to build. You need to become financially free for your kids, for this, for that, for your ego, whatever. It's kind of like almost a devil and an angel on the shoulder. One's like, enjoy life, be in the moment. The other's like, fuck that. Get it. You'll enjoy it in 2 years, 5 years, whatever. Problem is, I've been doing this entrepreneur thing for so many damn years, and I'm not to where I want to be. And I think that's weighing on me. And the irony is we actually have a lot of really exciting stuff going on with the new company, Noble, I bought a while back. But man, my motivation, and this is also connected to some physical stuff, some health stuff, some hormone stuff that I'm working on. My motivation is just like, man, I woke up today and I didn't want to work at all. But then here's the other thing. Here's the thing that's tricky. Maybe some of you can empathize with this. It's like, I don't have a ton of other like fun things in my life. So if I don't work, I go hang out with the kids, whatever. And that's fun, but it's not like exciting. It doesn't get your excitement feelings going. And somebody like me, I like to create things, I like to do things, like those adult relationships or whatever. I mean, we need things to be excited about. And so you get to this really almost, at least from what I've heard, depression-like state where I've seen a definition of depression being you pretty much have nothing lights you up. Nothing makes you excited. And man, do I deal with that. Now, I wouldn't call it depression. It's almost like an entrepreneurial depression or something where, and I think we all go through this. We go through these bouts of being super motivated, having a ton to do, having less to do. Maybe we're less motivated, whatever. It's the waxing and waning, the ups and downs. It's the duality of life as an entrepreneur. But lately, I've not had that same internal drive. And I'm like, whoa, I'm getting old. I'm almost 40. 2 years from being 40. Holy shit. Maybe I'm losing it. Am I losing it? And then I get scared. I don't want to lose it. And, data would suggest that I'm not losing it, obviously, because I've been doing this so long that it's pretty much solidified into who I am. I have to just keep going. I have to work through these days. So what I've been trying to do is be more patient with myself, more, give myself more leeway to just go slower, have more breaks throughout the day. 6 months ago, I was just like every day, try to get as many hours in, 8-10 hours a day or more. And now I'm more just like, I want to get 4 really, really solid productive hours in. And honestly, that's enough. I can get everything I need to get done. But then, the growth stuff, that's on top of it. Where are those extra hours going to go? And I know that, and I want that. But I'm the type that is like so fast and so effective that in my businesses, sometimes I actually need to dial back and give them room to do what they need to do. Give my employees space to grow. Don't force. Give the suppliers time to get what they need to get done. It's like you're dealing with other people in business. You have to just give them time. And I'm the type that I'll like knock out my entire inbox, and I'll have a list of things from people, and I just like, I want it now. Give it to me now. Just some ramblings. I did notice that because I was sick, traveling back, got some fatigue, and then I got a cough. Kids had a cough. I wasn't recording. And then I recorded the other day, and I was like, oh my gosh. I realized how therapeutic this is. So my thing is like, and it was my thing. I kind of stopped because I realized that it doesn't like really move the needle or anything. And, there's people that listen. There's probably a good 1,000 people or so that will like listen to these episodes every so often. And some will listen to every one I put out. And like, that's super valuable. I appreciate that. And so it's worth doing. But that's not why it's worth doing. It's worth doing for me. Rick Rubin shared a clip yesterday on the Jay Shetty podcast. I saw it on TikTok, and he was saying, like, just follow things because they're interesting. Do not follow things because you think there's going to be a reward there. Now, I struggle with this because as somebody, like, you have a marketplace, you have customers, you have things they want. Like, if you want to sell to them and appeal to them and even get views in today's day and age, you have to understand that. You have to do things people want. You have to sell things people want, right? But what he's saying is that if you follow things that are interesting, like, you'll probably figure out a way how to, connect it to an economic reward, or maybe even just like some other reward, like, brings you notoriety, or connects you to somebody else, whatever. So yeah, definitely recording for me first. I've always enjoyed recording. I'm going to keep recording. I keep like going back and forth and like, let me turn this into a business. Let me play the algorithm. Let me get a bunch of views and then, talk about whatever I want. Part of me is like, yeah, but then like you can tell the other part of me is like, fuck that, dude. What? And then you gotta like muster all the motivation, whatever. I think when you're older and you have more experience and you're, quote unquote wiser, I think it gets harder to motivate yourself using flashy luxury, like, my life will be so complete goals, when you realize that they won't, and then so you have to figure out, am I finding something that like truly matters? Do you have a mission? And I do, but man, it still is like some days, how do you connect sitting in front of a computer screen for 8 hours a day to some like broader mission? Some days you can't. You're just like so in the weeds, dealing with the minutia. Anyways, it's we all struggle with this. Maybe I'll go on TikTok and respond to some comments because that tends to fire me up. Some of the most obscenely idiotic takes in the history of mankind live in TikTok comments. It's like a treasure trove of stupidity that you can pull from and talk about. Now, I don't suggest you do that. In fact, I don't even want to do it. But there are times when it's fun and when it can even be constructive and useful for some people. But man, what a negative drain. Imagine being in TikTok and watching a video. Because like I have videos that are just a short clip taken from a longer video about some positive message. Like most of what I talk about is positive, action-oriented. Like I haven't been talking about politics or anything like that. And it's like someone will still find something negative to say. It's like, holy shit. That's your life? Going on TikTok and commenting on something somebody created for free, like just putting it out there and just being negative for no damn reason. Wow. I feel sorry for you. Anyways, I'm going to keep recording. Better Human Podcast. Make sure you're subscribing. Download the things. Go on YouTube. Or don't. Do whatever you want. But if you got any value out of this, then maybe you should show up for the next one.